Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the top side as the Green Earth Rachel, we got Cloudio. So on the south side as the Yellow Comet Lash, we got LowEloNobody. I just realized I'm going to probably make this a little bit larger. And yeah, that should be good. A little bit larger. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This is a lively game. We got triple base down south, triple base up north, of course, as a counterpart. We do have an airport there next to a pipe scene, but you can't deploy pipe runners and pipes from airports. But if we do have a hot sheet, you can always pull a pipe runner onto this pipe scene here through the city with a superpower. This map does offer paracom towers as well. Of course, this infantry game does get this capture up right there. This map does seem like it has a decent amount of roads, so wheeled vehicles are a bit more of a possibility. Got tank and mech here. Mech will sprint across the river somehow. Mech, infantry. So got not really skipping out. So we got mech play by Lash, which is interesting. We'll help them go across rivers relatively quickly. Got a bit of a long path around or through some forests. And of course, everybody knows tanks can't go through forests. That's what World War II taught me, right? Just ignore the Ardennes multiple times. We now got our double artillery there, so it looks like Lash is going for a symmetrical approach. The asymmetrical Rachel's going for some pair of tanks up there. Got 15 to 16 minutes for both players to stockpile a decent amount of time, trying to flip a property and capture some despicable neutral properties here. This property will be easily interrupted by infantry unit there. The mech should probably keep its distance there. I don't think the mech is going to be super great. They'll have trouble running away, so the mech overall seems like a bad deployment over here versus all the infantry. The mech will at least start putting some pressure over here. Maybe on top of forest, maybe try to the city for itself. Does use the mech to capture there. Oh yeah, it's also, now thinking about it, Lash did get a 4-star attack boost from the mountain down the city. Versus 3-star defense, so Lash's native passive was actually pretty useful there. Rachel started to push down south with a good core of tanks. Mech getting hit pretty hard there. Tank. Over here we do have 39,000 versus 51, so Lash is starting far behind. Artillery gets a good strike on the infantry unit there. We saw the infantry unit there thanks to the boosted strike from the mountain. Got a Kindle level boosted strike. Good strike there as well. Battlecopter infantry, tank. So Rachel was going to start getting anti-air. Maybe deploy anti-air here, so go left or rightwards. This tank did get a good strike on their artillery, but this tank, of course, can retaliate. That's probably what we should do. Maybe put the artillery back on top of the HQ or on top of the city. Let the mech get on top of the other. But of course, we got 2 tanks here as well. Battlecopter heading to the center as well. Let's go to strike there. Has supported this tank and the battlecopter, so this tank needs to fall back. Anti-air is a little bit lagging behind. Mech trying to flip this property. It's 17 versus 14, so Lash is starting to stabilize. It's day difference. Tank, and infantry. Tank does strike the tank. Battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Got a 17 versus 16. Rachel then turns 67. Lash starts to turn 62. So Rachel only has a slight advantage. Artillery did strike that tank there. And finish off the tank there. does interrupt the capture of that property, and does interrupt the capture of that property. And finish off that unit there. Got a artillery, anti-air infantry. Got a tank here. We do have a look last available, which is not going to be useful. Rachel's more superpower CO. And her superpower could be very devastating. One of the missiles will strike infantry, which will likely strike over here. Another will strike a value, which will likely strike over here. And the last one will go for accumulation health, which will likely strike the infantry once again. Got to capture it there and there. Rachel is, of course, being a bit more aggressive. Let's get that unit there. And remember as well, Rachel does have 3 health regen per turn, so this tank would be at full health next turn. I have a feeling this infantry unit may go over here, try to machine gun it down, then try to machine gun it down, and allow the anti-air to strike the battlecopter. That's my guess over here. Lash is starting to fall behind. Rachel has 18. Did take it out, and does take out the battlecopter there. May see covering fire this turn. Very likely it will do severe damage. Missile here. Is this missile a bait missile, the covering fire? Is that worth it? The value would definitely strike here right now. I don't know if a missile's worth it. Oh! It did not hit the missile whatsoever. 2 definitely did struck over here because everything's down to 4 health. Definitely the infantry and HP. While the value one looks like struck over here. And that greatly called out difference. We could see a prime tactics next turn. But there's nothing much here to really utilize a prime tactics. And in fact, a whole lot of nothing. A 7 health tank versus 3 tanks. Not looking good for a Lash over the left right flank. That superpower was devastating. Prime tactics will likely be brought into this turn. Yeah, it feels like also all the indirects over here is really slowing down Lash. Looks like no prime tactics this turn. A missile is a horrible option. I mean, this is literally a 5th of her value in the field, this single missile. Missiles cost 12,000, and let's just round this down to nice and even 60,000. It's going to be like that relatively soon. And that'd be 60,000 divided by 12,000 is, of course, 5. So that missile's literally 1/5 of her value, and that's horrible. Tank there. Tank. There comes the prime tactics. Let's see how this goes. Mech gets a booster strike on that recon, doing great work there. The missile is advancing, ready to shoot down some civilian airliners. Does get some great booster strikes on the left side though. And the artillery, of course, are nice, but they're pretty slow. Goes for artillery, tank, infantry. Missiles within minimum range of the the battle course within minimum range of the missile. Not to mention it's getting hit by tanks. Though the double defense D stars made it have 6 defense stars there, able to see quite a bit of beating there. But there's no anti-air in this region. Picks off a lot of wounded infantry units there. 1 artillery, of course, in range of some infantry units as well. And with the day-to-day repairs, Lash only gets 106. At least the compound does not provide repairs in this situation. Gets a good strike across both those tanks. I do have a lucky Lash available. Both players have plenty of time, well above 10 minutes. Does go in these tanks there. Does have anti-air to help strike this battlecopter, of course, well out of range of them. And some of these artillery not being struck, though this tank will be struck next turn by the artillery. The mech could get boost strike onto this tank here from the city. Good strike there. The problem is the mech won't be able to get a good strike there. Of course, that's probably the best thing the artillery could have done. I don't... leaving the tank there to get repaired on up, it's not a bad idea. But Lash shows pretty good commanding presence on the left flank. Our right flank is less to be desired, of course. But it's starting to stabilize. But here comes another covering fire. Infantry clearly right here. Actually, no, will land right here. Unit value or unit HP likely will strike around here. And value probably will strike around here. Yeah, this is not going to go. No covering fire is going to be good for Lash. She starts end of turn of 81,000 and will start. And Rachel definitely should go for this covering fire. Maybe trying to manipulate with the missiles land with the HP one. And it goes on the 56, evening them out. Anti-air gets struck. Missile gets struck. And another tank gets knocked out. This artillery, of course, is in range of this tank here. May see a prime tactics, but she may need crop terrain tactics with the +10/+10. I have no idea. Here. And that was a pretty lackluster turn. Ends turn 50,000. Rachel starts turn 65, so Rachel's a pretty good advantage moment. Strikes the artillery piece there, trying to flip the comm tower. And prime tactics is now available. She can interrupt the comm tower capture this infantry unit there. Think it gets a pick of this tank there. And here will of course be out of range. And here comes the prime tactics. Artillery strikes that tank there for minimal damage. It's good around into it. Interrupts the capture of the comm tower. Pushing the left flank, but this tank can simply hit this here likely. Got another artillery piece here, which is in a spot where probably gets itself base locked. Should have gone for a tank there. It needs to start pushing out immediately, not wait a turn. And anti-air. Of course, the day-to-day repairs probably can't afford both. Actually, probably should not have gone for anti-air there. This battlecopter could push forward a turn, then go for anti-air, but... Yep. I think Lash should have gone a tank over here. And now it's going to push some properties down in the middle. Rachel does pull back there. Paul just trying to get a bit of breathing room. She can pull back and be fine. Tank, infantry, tank. And Lash does go ahead and resign. That missile was definitely a horrible call. This is Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.